Did you know that some sewing machines sew side to side? Yes, the feed dogs don't just go forward and back, but they can actually move the fabric left and right. And you can do that on the Husqvarna Viking Designer Brilliance 80. So in this video, we're going to show you the 4-direction stitching menu, and that's menu S. When you pick it, you're going to be guided to 11 stitches that can do this. These are the only stitches that can be sewn sideways. So a straight stitch, zigzag, and some applique decorative stitches, some stretch stitches, all good there. But notice, it does ask for foot S. So S is designed for just that. Any of your side-to-side motion stitches are going to have this foot. It's a bigger foot, it's got a cutout, everything's going to go nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and put that foot on to start off with. And then next, why in the world would we even want to go side to side when we sew? We are talking about instead of turning your fabric, you can actually just have it go to the left or to the right, forward or back. Another good use of these stitches would be if you are sewing a patch on a pant leg. If you've ever had to do that, you've had to open up the pant leg, stitch it on, and then you've had to sew that pant leg back up. What if I could show you, by taking off the accessory box, you could slide that pant leg on and never have to open up the seam, and you could actually stitch that patch in place. So that's a great example, but there's lots of other places too. I've even been known to put some of these into memory. And don't forget, we'll be doing a video on menu T. That's 8-directional sewing with a straight or a triple straight stitch. So let's talk about how do you get it to go the different directions. Once you start, so right here where it has the black dot for starting, you see when we picked it, it's going to sew to the right. So just for right now, if you just go ahead and start sewing, you're going to see that the fabric is going to travel to the right. Now you don't have very many adjustments to the stitch. You don't get to change the width or length. It's just these built-in settings. But as soon as we've gotten to the side or length we want to travel, the reverse button is what you can touch, and then it changes. So the next direction is forward. So that's going to be a new direction. And then we touch it again. Look, it's going to point to the left. So it stitches to the left. And if you had some marks or you were looking to see if you could line up with where you started, the last one will bring us right back to a general area where we started, and that will give you a little idea of what we're talking about. Well, let's do one more. Let's do a decorative stitch. You do actually have a blanket stitch. It's kind of fun, so this could be decorative. It does start, let's just go ahead and start it going to the right. So it does, it moves it forward, back, and then we can touch the reverse button and sew. Now there is a stitch kind of restart button, so if you do touch that, that will set it to start back at the beginning of that decorative feature. So if there is some fine tuning, you want to get these corners look really good, touch that stitch restart and then touch the reverse button for your new direction, and it'll start up kind of in a nice look at that corner. So I think I've gone this all the way around here, and I'll show you that when I did touch the stitch restart, my corners were more 90 degrees. This is where I didn't, so there is a benefit for using it. Do a couple tests. What if I wanted that blanket stitch to go on the outside versus the inside? Well, what you're going to do is, let's touch the reverse button, watch this. This is kind of fun. So instead, let's go ahead, we'll start again. I always challenge my students to see if they can figure this out on their own. So we'll stitch this way, but instead of just touching the reverse button once, you're going to actually need to go away from us next. So don't go, you're actually going to be stitching instead of clockwise, you're actually going to be stitching counterclockwise. And now you'll have your stitches on the other side. Oh, you have to actually touch that 3 times. There we go. Now we'll have it going the direction that we are wanting to stitch. All right, we'll just finish this up. You'll see what I'm talking about. But you can control all these stitches, but have some fun sewing out stitches from left, right, and north and south.